many of you feel confused when it comes to deciding whether you should give an English proficiency test, and if yes, which one to take for your study abroad applications. In today's video, we are going to clear up that confusion and help you make an informed decision. Hello everyone, I am Durga Sircar, your verbal mentor from IMS International. With my years of experience guiding students, I have distilled the process of choosing the right test for you in 3 golden rules. So stay with me till the end of this video and you'll have the clarity to make the best decision for yourself. So whenever we think about English proficiency tests, these are the 3 most common tests that come to our mind. We have IELTS, TOEFL and PTE. IELTS is International English Language Testing System. TOEFL is Test of English as a Foreign Language and PTE is Pearson Test of English. Now, all these 3 tests can be given for academic purposes, whereas your IELTS can also be given for professional purposes. The test of IELTS that we give for professional purposes is called as GT or IELTS General Tests. Moving towards the conducting bodies. Now, the conducting bodies of these 3 tests are IDP for IELTS, that is International Development Program. We have ETS for TOEFL, Educational Testing Services, and obviously we have Pearson for PTE. Moving towards the test format. The test format is more or less similar for these 3 tests, wherein the skills that are tested are your reading, writing, listening and speaking skills of the English language, although the types of questions will vary. And also PTE has a special feature in which when you attempt a certain type of question, you may be graded on 1 or more sections. For example, if you attempt a read aloud question or if you attempt a question in which you have to repeat the dictation, then in those type of questions you can be scored on multiple sections. Moving ahead, we have the modes of the 3 tests. Your IELTS, TOEFL and PTE, all 3 are available in computer-based formats, whereas the IELTS is also available as a paper-based format. Now we have the scoring system. The IELTS is scored from bands 1 to 9. TOEFL you will get a score from 0 to 120, whereas in PTE you will be scored from 10 to 90. In IELTS you will get individual band scores for all the 4 sections, plus you will get a final score. In TOEFL you will get individual scores from 0 to 30, and then the addition of all those 4 scores will be your total TOEFL score. And in PTE again you will get individual scores for each of the sections and you will get a final score. Now talking about the validity of the scores. So the scores of IELTS, TOEFL and PTE each are valid for 2 years. That means from the date when you receive your result till 2 years, you can use the scores to submit as part of your university applications. Now moving towards the test duration. IELTS being the longest of the 3 approximately takes 2 hours and 45 minutes, whereas TOEFL and PTE are both tests of approximately 2 hours each. Now we have your test availability and locations. IELTS being the one which has maximum centers across India, you will find more than 75 cities in which you will have IELTS centers with multiple test dates throughout the week, throughout the month. TOEFL is available for testing with over 50 cities across the country, and PTE is also available for testing with over 60 cities. So you will not find a dearth of a center if you are planning to write any of these 3 exams. Now we have the acceptance and recognition. IELTS is widely accepted in the UK, Australia, Canada, Europe and other countries. TOEFL is majorly accepted in the US, although some Canadian and European universities also accept the TOEFL score, and PTE is growing acceptance mainly in Australia, but it is also nowadays accepted in Canada, UK and other countries. Now, the cost comparison between the 3 tests. The IELTS test will cost you 17,000 Indian rupees, whereas the PTE is also on the same lines. TOEFL on the other hand will cost you $205 US, which will approximately come around the same amount, that is 16,000 something to 17,000. So as far as the cost is concerned, all the 3 tests will approximately cost you the same. Now moving towards the result declaration. So how many days will it take before you can see your final result in front of you? IELTS will take up to 13 working days if you have given the paper-based edition, and it will take up to 3 to 5 days for you to receive your computer-based test result. TOEFL will again take 3 to 5 working days, and you will receive your result as an email on your email address, or you can also log into your portal. PT is also mostly available in 2 days on the portal on which you can log in and see your result, but it might also vary if there is a pause in the speech during the exam, or if you have used any non-English terms, then your PT results can be delayed. Moving ahead, now the golden question of today, that which test should you give or which test should you choose out of the 3? Now we have discussed various features of the 3 tests, and on the basis of that you have seen, or you must have observed, that there are certain pros and certain cons of the 3 tests. But the decision will not lie on the type of test, but it will actually lie on these 3 parameters, which we will discuss one by one. So first is your university requirement. Many students or many people confuse that the test is related to a particular region, but the test is not a prerequisite for a particular country, or the test is not a prerequisite if you want to enter a particular country. The test is a prerequisite because a university wants you to give that test. So there might be universities which are accepting all the 3, IELTS, TOEFL or PT. There might be universities which might be accepting only IELTS or TOEFL, or only one of the 3. So you will have to check that the university that you are applying to, which test is that university taking. For example, once I had a student who was applying to the US, and majorly you must have heard that students give TOEFL for US. But MIT, the very famous MIT college of the US, it takes only IELTS as an English proficiency test. So my student had to give both IELTS and TOEFL for applying to colleges in the US. Now coming to the preference, okay. Preference for the test will depend on the availability of the test center, okay. Availability of the test center and the test dates which are available near you. For example, you live in a city, like there was once this student of mine who was living in Udaipur. So he did not have a IELTS test center in Udaipur. So he had to fly to Jaipur, or he had to travel to Jaipur to give the IELTS test. So depending on whether a test center is available near you, you will go for the particular test if both those tests are accepted by the university. Also, the preference might depend on the mode of the test. So if you are comfortable with a computer-based test, then you can go for either IELTS, TOEFL or PT. But if you are comfortable with a paper-based test, then definitely you can go for IELTS. So factor in all of these 3 variables into an equation when you are deciding which test you need to give. And it cannot be a single factor which will help you in deciding, but a combination of a result of all these 3 which will give you the best choice of which English proficiency test you should take. So I hope you like this video, got some insights from this video. In order to really appreciate us for our work here, you can like the video, subscribe to our channel and share it with your friends. Thank you so much.